CBS News senior political editor Steve Chaggaris joins me now. The storyline going into those caucuses last night was the amount of anger by the Nevada Republican voters. 59% who said they're angry. And the only thing I could keep thinking about, every headline that I read, Steve, was that big, long scene in Network where the anchor stands up and says, "I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore." So what do you make of Trump now saying, "Oh, we're so divided"?
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the theme of the primaries and caucuses this year, is how upset the electorate is, especially the Republican electorate. You're seeing a little bit of it on the Democratic side, too, which is, I think, why Bernie Sanders has caught a little bit of fire. But Americans are just not happy right now with the direction of the country, with the way the federal government is working. And it seemed especially magnified in Nevada yesterday with these entrance polls showing how angry people are. And what's interesting is that Trump seems to be the only one really tapping into this on the Republican side. You'd think that somebody like Cruz, who really has tried to set himself up as the anti-establishment outsider type, you think he would have, his message would resonate, but it just really hasn't. And I think for him, that's going to be a concern moving forward.
And he won with all kinds of groups, very conservatives, evangelicals, men, women, Latinos. How is he managing to go in and conquer so many disparate voting blocks within this Republican Party?
Well, you see the one common theme is people want change. Republican voters want change, and they all think that he's the best person that can do that. And so who's left in the race? Ted Cruz, sitting senator, Marco Rubio, a sitting senator, Governor John Kasich, who's a sitting governor, and Ben Carson. And so what you're seeing is voters and caucus goers looking at Donald Trump as a complete anti-establishment, complete outsider, as the guy who tells it like it is, and you see that in the polls as well, and is going to go into Washington and shake things up. And they believe it. They believe his message.
And when you look at the lead that he has now in delegates, look, it's clear that the people of the Republican Party, the movers and shakers, those who consider themselves tasked with plotting out the path of the party, are looking with something like shock, in some cases concern about where this leads the party. But the mega donors, just reading the headline today, that they're sitting out of it, that this is reshaping the party for years to come the predictions. So at this point, you have Ted Cruz sitting back and going, yeah, at this point, this is a battle between me and Trump. He wants it to be, but is it?
I mean, it's a battle between Trump and everybody else, right? And I think what you're seeing is Cruz and Rubio, and to a certain extent Kasich, really trying to make the argument that if you really don't want Donald Trump as a Republican, you have another option. And so you have Cruz out there saying, I'm the pure conservative, I'm the true conservative outsider who can unite conservatives and beat not only the Democrat in the fall, but beat Donald Trump. I've beaten him already in Iowa, right? You hear him say, I've already beaten him in Iowa. I can beat him moving forward. Then you have Marco Rubio, who's consolidating a lot of endorsements from establishment folks, and he's saying he's the one that can unite Republicans. So get back behind me, and we'll then defeat Donald Trump. And Kasich is sort of making a similar argument on the other end, hoping that he can catch fire later in the process. But what's going on here is people aren't buying it. People don't want right now, at least according to the exit and entrance polls we're seeing, people don't want those kinds of arguments. They want the guy who's going to go in and shake things up. And that, in their mind, is Donald Trump.
Marco Rubio says even though Donald Trump clearly has a significant lead, that he's not unbeatable. And he explained his theory on this morning. Let me play it.
I think it's important to take a deep breath here. First of all, the Republican nomination is decided by delegates. It's over 1,200 delegates you need to have. We're nowhere even near that number of people that have yet even been filed, much less being able to win them. And in that sense, the votes that are happening between now and the 15th, before the 15th, all these states are awarding delegates proportionally. It's not based on how many states you win. It's based on how many delegates you picked up. Now, he does have a delegate advantage, but it's not overwhelming. In fact, there are plenty of states out there that in the winner-take-all category that if you win them, you more than catch up. So I think what needs to happen here, though, is this race needs to continue to narrow, because Donald Trump, for example, he underperformed Mitt Romney yesterday in Nevada. 4 years ago, Mitt Romney got over 50% of the vote there. So it shows there's a significant number of Republicans, even in Nevada, who do not want Donald Trump to be their nominee. But right now it's divided up among 4 people.
So clearly Marco Rubio is looking at his home state of Florida, a winner-take-all state, as being a significant opportunity for him to regain and recapture some competition with Donald Trump. Ted Cruz is doing the same with Texas, although that is not a winner-take-all state. But right now, he's leading in the poll numbers there ahead of Super Tuesday. Give me a sense of the significance of these home states and winner-take-all versus proportional delegates.
Well, let me just speak to Rubio's strategy, which is highly questionable because Florida doesn't vote until March 15th, which is 3 weeks from now. So if the guy continues to lose on March 1st and March 8th, and he loses every single contest, which he's done so far, I don't really see, yes, he's picking up delegates in a proportional way, but Donald Trump will be picking up way more delegates than he will be. I mean, if you're talking about proportions like you saw in Nevada, he doubled up. Trump doubled up on Rubio, so he's going to be picking up more delegates than Rubio. So Rubio has to, and then the other problem is that the storyline that starts to be played is now you've lost, what, 12, 15, 18 contests before you get to Florida. I don't know how that is a recipe to show Republicans that you have strength and you're able to win in this primary process, to wait 3 weeks before your first win. So he's got to start winning next week, Rubio does. He's got to win something. And I think they thought that Nevada was a chance for them to do that. He spent a lot of time there. You know, Rubio actually grew up at least 6 or 7 years of his childhood in Nevada, and I think they thought that that connection was going to help him, and they were unable to pull it out in Nevada. And so they're really sort of scrambling and really just holding out hope that Florida is going to be the answer. Yeah, is it the math? Does that work if you pick up enough delegates on March 1st and March 8th to get to March 15th and then you win in Florida? Could you maybe be close to Trump? Sure, that could be. But there's also elections that happen here, and there are storylines that are built around those elections. And we're dealing now with a national sort of election situation where people aren't looking at each individual race. They're not looking at how many delegates have been allocated, but they're looking to see who has momentum. And if Trump wins 10 out of 11 contests next week, that's not a good storyline for Marco Rubio or for Ted Cruz.
Right.